right, y'all, we are back at it with Project Build, baby. For those who are new here, I'm taking you guys on my journey of building my dream body back. And not only that, but really focusing on strength and tying in all the holistic aspects of a fit and healthy lifestyle. So I'm excited to share more with you guys, my meals, my workouts, mindset shifts, and more. If you don't want to miss out on more of this journey, make sure to subscribe. But let's get right into today's lower body lift. So I am following a training split right now that includes barbell hip thrust, and I'm so freaking happy. You guys have to try this, okay? So depending on where you're at, you can start with do your warm-up sets for anything, but you're gonna do you're gonna basically superset your barbell hip thrust with single leg slow and controlled hip thrusts, 8 to 10 reps. So nothing crazy. You're really focusing on going not too slow, but really just controlling the movement through the entire range of motion. So as you can see here, I completed around one set of my barbell hip thrust, and I went straight into the single leg hip thrust, around 8 reps each side. It's a low amount of repetitions, but as you can see here, I was feeling that contraction like crazy. And we did 3 working sets of this. So remember, guys, when you have 3 sets, that does not include your warm-up sets, okay? So that first set that you do before you start to actually get challenged in your lifts, those don't actually count. Those are going to be your warm-up sets. Not every single exercise in your training is going to include a full warm-up set, but your main compound lifts will include a warm-up set. Next compound lift was actually dumbbell Romanian deadlifts, but I did not film those sets. But my third lift is going to be dumbbell Bulgarian split squats. So when you first get into these guys, I would recommend, if you're new to the gym, just start with slow and controlled, like body weight split squats or reverse lunges. And once you get really good at that, then you can get into supported Bulgarian split squats where you're holding on to something. Then you can slowly move to 1 dumbbell. Then you can go into 2 dumbbells. Okay, so a lot of people will jump straight into just holding 2 dumbbells when you really want to first get your body used to just the basics of that foundational movement, right? The unilateral movements in general. Okay, but these are absolutely killer. I like everyone else, I have a love-hate relationship. So you can see in my face, they freaking kill. But they hurt so damn good. So you can see I'm training barefoot. This is gonna allow me to have a lot more tension and stability in my lift. So please don't lift in running shoes, guys. Lift barefoot or flat sole. Last exercise I filmed for today was seated hamstring curls, and these are one of my favorite hamstring isolation movements that I really love training close to muscular failure with. So what I'm doing here is I am driving my quads into the pad at the top of the movement and really thinking about driving my heels to the bottom of my butt. Even just watching this video, I could see that I could keep a little bit more of a neutral spine, but when you are training close to failure, girl, your form will start to give out. So yeah, that's it for today's lift. I didn't film my other 2 workouts, but hopefully this helped. So we have 2 whole eggs and some egg whites with some turkey meat for more protein, 2 gluten-free apple cinnamon waffles with Kerrygold butter and light syrup. Got some micronutrients because you got to get in that color. I love to eat in season, not all the time, but it's something new that I'm trying for fun. Not only do you save more money, but I got kiwis, which is really great for getting in fiber, strawberries, and gives me a little bit of color for this plate. For most people, I find, is making sure that you're eating enough calories, okay? I talk to women every single day, and I always hear, I don't eat that bad, I don't eat that. Or maybe, you know, I'll hear,
I just forget to eat lunch. I don't really have breakfast. Sometimes I forget to eat lunch, and I'll just have whatever for dinner.
or, you know, I'm good during the week, and then when the weekend comes around, it's just like, you know, complete 360, and then one day's a reset. And it's kind of all the same things. And I actually created different archetypes for, like, you know, the different types of women when it comes to nutrition. Now for me, I struggled with binge eating and overeating and undereating pretty much my entire life. And so it wasn't until I actually learned how to track my macros and eat at maintenance, and I worked with a coach to do this, so it helped me, you know, with the mindset part of things. I think if you do it on your own, it could be a little bit tricky. It's not impossible, but it could be tricky. And so yes, I am tracking my macros right now because I want to make sure that I'm giving my body the consistent nutrients needed on a daily basis to see not only the progress that I want, but to have the consistent energy levels and strength gains that I'm looking for, right? A lot of women, when they come to embody her, they say, oh, I don't eat that bad. Like, you know, I try to eat healthy. And then when we actually go to track their food, they're all over the place. Like, they're under eating in protein, they're overeating in carbs and fats. Sometimes they're overeating in protein and they're barely eating any carbs and fats, right? Some days it's like, one day's 1,500, the next day's 2,300 calories, the next day's, you know, 1,700, the next day's 20, and it's all over the place. And it's so, no wonder you're not really seeing the changes that you want on your physique. Right? And so a lot of times when I talk about tracking your food, tracking your macros, people immediately think that it's restrictive, that it's complex, that it's too much, or whatever. And again, this is why I built out 2 different nutrition roadmaps for women coming in, so we can find the best roadmap for you. But ultimately, right, tracking your macros and your nutrition has so many benefits. One, because you have flexibility in your diet, right? A carb is a carb is a carb. Do you want to have more complex carbs in your diet, which are going to be like the nutrient dense carbs, the carbs that have like fiber in it? Yes. But can you have cereal, and can you have other types of carbs that maybe aren't going to be like the most nutritious, but like you want it? Yeah, because it fits. And so learning how to track my macros really taught me that all foods fit. There are no good and bad foods. It's just nutrition is more on a spectrum of more nutrient dense and less nutrient dense. And you get to choose, right? And so you want to have like, you know, 80% of your nutrition come from nutrient dense whole foods. But like if 20% of that is coming from, you know, candy or chocolate or, you know, cereal or chips, as, you know, whatever, as a side like to your sandwich or whatever, then there's no harm in that, right? You're still going to see the progress that you want as long as you're accounting for it. And so, you know, this is different from like Weight Watchers and things like that. Like that's completely different. Like the point systems and all that is so different from like just like the strategic nutritional tool to teach you about your nutrition and your body. And within Embody Her, we have an entire course that allows our clients to learn more, because you can do so much research around macros and how to track and how to prep and all the things, but the order of operations is so important. And that's what we give our clients when they come in. So a little bit more about my nutrition and where I'm at right now. As you guys know, it is Project Build, okay? So I'm trying to build muscle, and it's gonna be a little bit slower for me because I am trying to, you know, maintain a relatively leaner physique. And so I am going at a slow pace, but I'm also not afraid to increase my food when needed. And I know when my body is needing more food, okay? So right now, I'm maintaining my calories at around 2,100 to 2,300 calories a day, and I'm intaking around, let's see. I'm intaking around 130 grams of protein. So my macros right now are 130 grams of protein, 210 grams carbs, 82 grams fat. I love my fats. Fats are so good for you, especially as women. 25 grams fiber. I'm really focusing on my macronutrients. And then of course, I'm making sure that I'm getting in my micros and, you know, ensuring that I'm getting in my minerals and all of those things. Am I perfect? Hell no, I'm not perfect. But, you know, as long as you're staying prepared and you're pre-logging your nutrition, it makes it a lot more simpler. It makes it easier. And honestly, I have fun with it. For me, I see it as fun. Like I really enjoy seeing where I'm at with my nutrition. I like having confirmation that, okay, I'm giving my body the consistent nutrients needed. It kind of gives me that peace of mind versus like if I'm just eating healthy and winging it, it's like, okay, well, I know I had 4 meals today, but am I eating enough to build and support this new muscle tissue, right? Like, am I eating enough? Like, having that question mark in the back of my head just makes me feel like I'm wasting time, if that makes sense. And no shade if you are. Like, again, do what works for you. But I'm tracking my macros right now. And you know, like sometimes I take like an intuitive week where, you know, maybe I feel like, you know, I'm prepared, my meals are prepared, and I'll take that week to just be a little bit more intuitive. But most of the time I am tracking my macros and pre-logging to make it easier. I could do an entire series on that because I've already been talking mad long about this. But the main goal is just to make sure that I'm giving my body the consistent protein, carbs, and fats to have energy, to build muscle, and to see the progress that I'm looking for. So if you want to learn more, if you want a little bit more of one-on-one support, you can always apply for my one-on-one coaching program in the description below. I love water. But in the meantime, I have a ton of free resources that you can start off at. If you are just learning about your macros, I can attach my macros masterclass in the description below as well. And that'll give you a head start of really just learning the basics of this stuff and your nutrition, okay? So yeah, let's get into the rest of this full day of eating. This is lunch, guys. I literally whipped this up super quickly. If you know me and you follow me on Instagram, you know I love my sandwiches. If you are short on time, you don't feel like cooking, you can get in so much protein alone from the deli meat and cheese. You wanna have at least around 4 ounces of deli meat for it to actually count. Got a little bit of these chips right here, jalapeno chips, weighed out here. And then I'm trying this new kombucha. I love trying like different kombuchas. This one's called Controlled Burn by Tribuca. Ginger, cayenne, and turmeric, baby. And I always read the ingredients to make sure it's not no fake shit. And it looks pretty solid. And I'm getting my period, so my chocolate cravings have been like through the roof. So I got this little butter biscuit and cocoa cream chocolate thing. I'm gonna have half of this as like a mini dessert after my lunch. And the macros are pretty good. So, yum. Sent them for feedback.
What are illegal magnets, baby?
They're basically just ways to fucking kidding me. What the fuck is it not working for me? So Daniel had the phenomenal idea of funneling the green juice into this. What do we think? Baby, come try it.
I'm actually excited. Yeah?
Tastes good.
Tastes like healing.
So good, guys.
Amazing.
Cheers.
Spicy shit.
I love them spicy. Not it only filling that much. Oh shit! So bright. All right, y'all, last meal of the day. We've got just like a rice bowl here, not a ton of like green color. I gotta restock up on veggies, but we've got some chickpeas cooked in sofrito. Yes, in sofrito. Try it out. Let me know how you like it. And then I do a mixture of half wild caught salmon and half grilled chicken breast with 4 ounces of rice and 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and then a little bit of hot sauce as well. And it tastes so good. I just love like concoctions like this. This is gonna be my nightcap, and we are all good to go for today. Being on my skin healing journey is bringing up a lot of similar feelings in the beginning of like my fitness journey, and feelings that I still have a lot of the times anyway, still to this day as a coach, right? And I'll give you an example. You know, I'm on this skin healing journey of adult acne and gut health and healing, and you know, sometimes my skin looks really good and it looks like I'm really making a lot of good progress. And then, you know, maybe I eat things that inflame my skin a little bit more, like alcohol and a lot of outside foods, and you know, I'm not moving as much, right? It's gonna cause my skin to be inflamed because my gut is inflamed. And I just have days, or you know, I'm getting my period as well, and when you're on your health journey, your period, you like, what the fuck, I look completely different, right? My skin is feeling that way right now, where, you know, it's a little inflamed. I'm getting my period, my gut is a little bit inflamed just because, yes, I've been eating back on plan in terms of like, you know, more home cooked meals, homemade meals, but I just went to visit my best friend this past weekend. You know, we had the keys the weekend before. So my body responds really well to consistency, especially over the weekends. And the past 2 weekends have been, you know, not that. So it can be easy to feel like, oh my God, like my skin looks really inflamed right now. Did I lose all that progress? You know, is my skin just like never gonna get to the place where it heals, right? I gotta go make another visit to my esthetician. And then I'm like, you know what, Lex, like this is all a part of the process. This is all part of the journey. And if you think you're gonna jump straight from like adult acne, you know, lifestyle, these certain lifestyle habits, all the way to like skincare, like perfect skin, like in a few months, it's just not gonna happen that way, right? It's a lot of trial and error. But when I look at the long scheme of things, when I like look at the long, not the tag of this, when I look at the long vision, I am making a lot of progress in my skin and in my habits that support my gut health, which help my skin, right? And I think you can draw a lot of parallels with like your health and fitness goals and that journey, because there's been plenty of times in my journey and with my clients as well, and maybe even you just watching this, where you feel like you're seeing changes a little bit and you feel like you're making progress, and then all of a sudden, you know, maybe you're getting your period, or maybe you overindulged a little bit, snacked a little bit more than you know, had planned, had a little bit of alcohol, right? And you're feeling a little bit bloated, puffy, and you know, maybe start to question, did I just reverse all of this progress? Am I even making progress at all? And so in those moments where you feel like you're reversing progress, or you're up a few pounds on the scale, or maybe you're feeling really puffy and bloated and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, did I gain body fat, right? Like you're just having this body dysmorphia or skin dysmorphia. I mean, it is inflamed. I think anybody can tell that. But you know, when you zoom out of your journey and look at how far you've come, you've actually made so much more progress than we give ourselves credit, right? In terms of growth, and always mental, physical, things you've learned, things you've tried and didn't work, and you know, trying it on your own, or whatever the case may be in your journey, right? So, oh God, this feels so good. So it's like skincare has like become my favorite part of like my day, in the morning and at night. It's only when we're like comparing ourselves to our past, or like a past version of ourselves that maybe was like actually so disciplined, doing 2 a days, whatever, but that's actually like extreme and you think that, you know, you're trying to do that. For me, I find myself comparing my skin now to my skin when I was like in high school, and my skin was perfect. I never had skin issues until I started to get into my adulthood, you know, my gut and all of the things. So, you know, I can easily compare my skin now to how it was then, but that doesn't do me any good. It doesn't accelerate my progress, and it doesn't accelerate yours. And if you feel like you have just been spinning your wheels, there is so much information online when it comes to, am I making progress? Am I not making progress? Am I delusional? Am I actually doing things right in my health and fitness journey? And for me, it was my skincare journey. I'm like ordering all these different products I saw on TikTok. Like I can even show you guys, like I was trying this shit and I was trying this shit. And I'm like, I am spending so much more money trying all these different products and trying to do it all on my own that I'm actually in the long term spending more money. So I, you know, allocated more funds, and I looked at my budget and allocated more funds, and I told myself, hey, I'm gonna be a little bit tight, but I want to invest more money into my skincare, my beauty, and like all of those self-care things, and investing in an esthetician that I trusted, and I looked through her content and I did my due diligence. Cause some of y'all just be hiring anybody and you're my neighbor and paying cheap amounts and maybe even expensive amounts. I hope not, but it's the same thing with a coach, okay? So you can save a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of trial and error when you just invest in that help. And wow, my skin already looks a lot better just from the first wash. I feel better now.